My name is Lolli. That's what my grandson calls me. So we're going to do a painting with Lolli today. We're going to paint a beautiful still life picture of a hydrangea flower. So today we're going to do the background, and we're just going to use some paint that was left over from a different project. We're just going to put some different, I've got some white that we're going to put, I'm going to make some vertical strokes. And I've got some leftover color that's on my brush. I'm going to put some blue back in here. I'm just going to put some different strokes. This is going to be a really abstract picture, so we're going to just put some really pretty bright colors. Now notice I can practice my blending with this painting. I'm going to go up and down. I'm going to go back to my white. And I'm going to start blending those colors together. We don't want our background to be the high, we want it to be kind of subtle. So we want it to stand out, but we don't want it to be the focus of our painting. If your brush gets dry, you can dip it into the water and continue brushing until you've got all kinds of pretty colors going together. Okay, I might need some darker color over here. I want to take some of that color, maybe brighten this area up over here. It's important to get the edge of your painting so that your painting would be mantle ready when you get it home. That way it's, in case you don't have a frame, that's just the way that you were ready for your painting to be displayed. So I'm going to do that edge right quick. I'm going to keep continuing. You get some good strokes in there and you think, oh, I like the way that those colors blended together. Leave it. Don't overbrush. I put a little bit more white. Ooh, I like the way those colors kind of looked right there. So I'm going to do the top of my painting. Some of it comes over the edge. That's all right. You can just kind of blend that in. Let me get this side. Okay. I've gone down to probably about this area where I'm going to start with a tabletop. For our tabletop, I'm going to, got a little bit of brown on my palette. So I may just make a slight indication of a tabletop across here. And I'm going to make my tabletop color. And to distinguish it from the background, I'm going to make horizontal strokes that are going across. Some of those colors from the background come through. That's all right. That kind of makes our painting kind of come together. I want to put some streaks in there, and then we'll come back with some lights and darks and shadows. All right, great. For our vase, for our beautiful hydrangea, we're going to use a mason jar. I'm going to take our smallest brush and roll my brush into the paint to get a point with the paint on the brush. You're going to take it and you're just going to keep rolling it till you kind of see that you've got paint on the edge and the tip of your brush. So for our vase, I'm going to start with an ellipse for the top. So I'm going to make 2 points. Here's 2 points. Then I'm going to join those points together on the top and join the points together on the bottom. That way that's got the mouth of our mason jar. Then we're going to kind of come down with this part, down with this part, kind of square it off so that our mason jar would be able to sit on that table. Then for our edge, to give that mason jar a little bit of shape, I'm going to take a flat brush and I'm going to take the paint that's already on the edge. I'm going to pull it to the center. That way it kind of gives the impression of the glass. I'll do it on this side. That way it kind of gives the glass its shape. Great, that's all I'm going to do to my vase right now. For your beautiful flower, we're going to take some purple paint. I've got a darker purple, and we're going to add that with a medium purple. Here's kind of a lavender color. And you're going to clean off that brush that you used for the vase. And we're going to, dip into the darkest color first. Remember, we're going to roll the paint onto the brush. We'll just roll it in there so that you can get a nice point onto your brush with the paint. And you got to think X's. So I'm going to make the shape of my flower. Then I'm going to come back in. Here's the shape that I'm going for. So I'm just going to that'll pinpoint my flower. Then I'm going to fill this whole shape with X's. The X's are going to make the petals of the flower. So I'm just making X's all in this kind of ellipse. And it's okay if the colors are not exactly the same. If it's picking up some of that background color, that's okay. So I'm making X's to make the shape of the flower. A hydrangea is it has a beautiful kind of round shape to it. You need to kind of put some out here. If you get out of line there, that's totally fine. So I'm filling this whole circle full of different X's. Now notice the different shades of purple you have. That's great. You might put some of the different lavender color in there. So I'm painting the flower. If you go out of the lines, it's okay. There aren't any mistakes in art. That's totally how you meant it to be. And if you see some of the background color through the flower, that's all right also. There might be a break in the flower. I'm also going to roll my brush into the white. I'm going to put some highlights. Let's pretend like the light is coming from this side. I'm going to put some lights up here. and put it with the white so that it's kind of hitting the top part of that flower. I can also put some in this area also to kind of bring out some of the shape of the flower. What gives a lot of objects their shape when you're painting are the lights and darks that you may see. So if you get too many light colors, you might go in with some darker. So I want to kind of distinguish between these two areas, so I might put in a few more darker spots of color here. Notice that I've got the X's still going on. I might touch over here with some X's. For our leaf color, we're going to use a green. You're going to roll your brush into the green. Hydrangeas have really big, beautiful leaves. So we're going to draw our leaf in. You can kind of go to the base here. We're going to kind of put the leaf in. And I'm going to fill that color in. Just like we have lights and darks in our flower, we're also going to have lights and darks in our leaf. That's going to give the leaf its shape. So I'm filling in our leaf. Then for our lights, I've got a little touch of yellow. And I'm going to put a little bit of yellow on the same side where our light's coming down. I'm going to kind of blend that in. We're also going to need to put a stem going down into the vase. You can kind of down into the vase. And we're going to put a little bit of touch where another little leaf over here, not as large as the other one, just to kind of give it that realistic look. I put some lights and darks on this leaf also. If we put the light, then that dark will naturally show through. I think I need to brighten that bright up right there. Okay, you might want to step back and look at your flower and your vase. I think I need to go over this line and kind of highlight a little bit of the vase where I've kind of lost the mason jar look here, or the vase. Kind of lost that with my drawing. Remember how you went in? We're kind of going to do a little, make it look like the water in the vase. To help with the realistic look, you're going to take a white, roll your brush in a white, and we're going to go across that stem. That kind of makes the stem looks like it goes into the water and into that vase. Okay, remember we had our lights coming from this side. Our flower and our vase is going to cast a shadow on this side onto the table. For that color, we're going to go back to our brown color. I'm going to use a little bit of brown on this side. And notice that it's going to cast a shadow. I want to blend that into the tabletop so that it can kind of do a little scrubbing motion here with your brush so that will kind of make the vase kind of sit down on the table. On this side, I would do more highlights. I would put some streaks to kind of show that this is lighter on this side. If your brush is too dry, you can add a little bit of water to it. And kind of blend these two areas together so that your lights and your darks. And kind of extend that down a little bit. I think I need to extend I lost some of the shadow. I scrubbed a little bit too much. So you can step back, look at your painting and see what you need to work on. An artist would never evaluate a painting from close up because you need to kind of have a good eye from farther back. That's where you'll look at your painting. You need to sign your painting because you want to be really proud of all the work that you do. So in the bottom corner, you can put your initials. Have a great time painting a flower. Have a good day.